Welcome back. Thank you for tuning to Pro Football Entertainment. I'm your host, Justin. And as always, I got my good friend Cameron over here. And I guess I have to start rephrasing that. Not as always, but today we have Cameron here.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. As you see, we do have an extra camera if you're tuning in on Twitch. We're doing a beta test, and tomorrow Cameron hopefully will have a camera on him as well. As you see, I have my Proper Gentleman shampoo right here. It's looking
nice.
good. Yeah, it's looking good. How you been, Cameron? I feel like I haven't seen you since
Fantastic.
since
Saturday.
But that's a while for us.
Fantastic, dude. This Twitch stream is looking This Twitch stream is looking fantastic. I'm just looking at it.
Well,
We got a chat up and everything. We
yeah.
got people
one
joining
of our
in.
fans says Cam finally shows up.
I can't read
Man,
that
dude,
far.
I think you might have let some of the fans down. But they did.
Tell them to come
I
fight
think
me.
they honestly enjoyed having Kinsey on the show yesterday.
Exactly. It's better than Colin being on there. No offense. I think they enjoyed seeing her face.
Why
on there
are you
more.
always firing shots at our best fans? Colin, I appreciate
Because I know he can take it.
I appreciate you,
It's
Colin.
not a problem whenever I do it to him. I know we've built up the relation. If it was some guy I didn't know, I wouldn't be saying it. But we've built it up. I'm allowed to say that about him.
Well, Colin is live. He says PFE. PFE. So, I appreciate it, Colin. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Well, today on our agenda, we have two voicemails
Mm-hmm.
from some fans for this episode. And then we will get into our running back power rankings. Note that our rankings are not for fantasy. I know we like to do a lot of fantasy football
But we're
updates
back.
on here, but these are just straight up football running backs.
Yeah, a lot of our recent episodes have been fantasy related. We've done some mock drafts. We've done quite 2 or 3 in our past few episodes. But first and foremost, we are a NFL football podcast, pro football entertainment. So, we've done our power rankings before of actual NFL teams. We did our draft recap. We've done our NFL draft rankings, things like that. So we already went through our quarterback power rankings before, our top 10 quarterback power
We
rankings.
did.
Sorry for that little I'm trying to, now that we're actually on the Twitch, I'm trying to get out of the way whenever we've got our advertisement on the screen.
Well,
It's just the camera
your
setup.
big head. I'm gonna have to edit that.
You know I don't have that big of a head, though. That's why it's weird. But we've done our quarterback our quarterback power rankings already. So now we're getting into our running back power rankings, and next we will do our wide receiver power rankings.
Yes.
But yes, as you said, these are going to be our actual running backs, not our fantasy running back ranking. These are our actual top players in the NFL at the running back position.
That is true. That is true. So, before we get into that, though, we have a couple recordings from some of our. We have a loyal listeners, and then we actually have one from one of our new fans.
Is that right?
Yeah, we got a new fan coming
Okay,
in.
so you didn't preview that one for me.
No, I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
So, we have one from a Buster Cherry, and we'll play that right here on the show. I'm pretty sure this one's for you, Cameron, if I remember correctly. So, let's see.
Hey guys, this is Buster Cherry. This is a question for both of you. I want to know, who are your guys' sleeper teams for this upcoming season?
So, Buster Cherry asked us, if you couldn't hear on Twitch, who are our sleeper teams for this upcoming season?
In the NFL.
Well, who else would it be, Cameron?
I'm just saying. That's all. No hostility needed.
Well, I'll let you start off because that made no sense.
Well, one of my sleeper teams was going to be the New York Jets, but that was before any preseason games happened. And then I watched that first preseason game. They didn't look very good. And then Zach Wilson went down with that injury of his.
We're
What are you laughing at?
we have a fan that says not the Packers. So thank you, Eric, for that.
Well, you know, if we're
He
being...
also said looking sexy, Cameron,
Thank you, I appreciate that.
in your fall outfit. It's not even fall yet.
No, I wore this to work. It's very cold inside the office, so I just wore it to work. But, you know, don't get me distracted. The Jets, after Zach Wilson got
I do
hurt...
love your name now, Eric. He said he changed his name to #1 Papa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The Packers really can't be a sleeper team because they're
we're the best.
good.
Oh,
Not the best.
Hold on, before you
They're
get
good.
caught up on this Jets
Okay.
thing, for you and our listeners out there, Sammy Watkins basically said that Patrick Mahomes can't hold Aaron Rodgers' jockstrap.
Yeah, okay.
I'm serious.
Do you have... No, I'm not doubting that he said that. I
Do
don't
I
care
approve?
that he said that.
No, you just doubted it.
No, I did not. I
He
laughed
literally
at the
said-
quote.
Sammy Watkins says Aaron Rodgers is on a whole other level compared to Patrick Mahomes. Proof's in the pudding.
Didn't you absolutely laugh whenever Devontae Adams said that Derek Carr was on Aaron
There's
Rodgers'
a
level?
difference.
Oh, okay. And didn't you laugh whenever Tyreek Hill said that Tua had a beautiful ball compared to Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, but were they
Oh, but what's the
were
difference?
they 4-time MVPs?
I mean, Mahomes has been in the league for 4 years and has an MVP and a Super Bowl and an MVP.
What did he do last year when he's...
So, you know, Mahomes does have the same amount of Super
I
Bowls
guarantee you,
as Aaron Rodgers.
I will bet you the Chiefs only make the playoffs this year.
I will. How much do you want to bet? Tell me right now. No. You don't.
I
get
thought you thought Justin Herbert was the best.
You
You don't
don't
think
think-
Justin Herbert's going to knock him out?
They can both make the playoffs.
The Raiders?
They're not making the playoffs.
They're ridiculous.
How much do you want to bet? I'm not letting you get away with this. How much do you want to bet that the Chiefs make the playoffs?
No. Just answer Buster Cherry.
How much? No, because you said it, and I know you're going to try to backslide from it.
I would bet you $10 they don't make the playoffs.
No. Big money.
You don't even have big money.
Big money.
Cameron,
$100.
no.
Exactly, because you don't believe in what you said.
No, because the NFL's rigged and they'll do anything for Patrick Mahomes to make the playoffs.
They don't have to rig it for Patrick Mahomes to make the playoffs. Okay. As much as it pains me to say, my biggest sleeper team, and I really wouldn't say they're a sleeper team, but they're the team that's going to improve the most from last year.
Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles, yeah. They're my team. Cut that. Don't put that
They're
in
your team.
Don't put that in the show. Cut that.
I'm clipping that.
Cut
JR.
that. Nope. They're my team to make the biggest improvement from last year. In the NFC. I'll add that caveat. And so they're a team that they're a sleeper in that I don't think many people think they could win the Super Bowl just based off Jalen Hurts, and I'm probably in that camp. But if we're talking about dark horse teams who have the roster, have the talent to make a Super Bowl run, they just need some pieces to fall into place. The Philadelphia Eagles, to me, have to be at the very top of that list.
Baby Goat 18.
Oh, gosh.
That sounds familiar. He says that the Jaguars will be our sleeper team.
I wish, because I do like...
We got 2 new followers. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, appreciate that, guys. I do wish the Jaguars would because I'm a big fan of Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a really good quarterback. I think he just got dealt the worst possible hand that any rookie quarterback could have been with Urban Meyer as his coach. That was will go down as potentially the worst coach in NFL history.
One of the best kickers in the league, though.
Yes, he is he's the best kicker of kickers. But as you actually see, the Jaguars just cut the Jaguars have 0 kickers on their roster right now.
What happened to Lambeau?
They just waived him.
What?
Yeah, they have 0 kickers on their roster right now.
Well, they can sign Urban Meyer.
Well, yes. So, NFC, I'll say Eagles. AFC,
everybody's saying they want Kinsey.
to replace you. They want the Cam and Kinsey show. That just rolls off the tongue.
Because you have 2
The
girl
Kinsey
names?
and Cam show? No, because the K and C, both K.
Oh. You know what else rolls off the tongue? When you record
Your bad
every day?
takes.
Oh.
Who is your... Oh, sorry. And then my AFC sleeper team.
He just said sleeper team.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Well, I decided to, give my own spin on it. My AFC sleeper team is going to be the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins will make the playoffs this year. It will be my... I don't even know if that's a hot take. I guess it's a hot take. But that's my take, is that the Miami Dolphins will make the playoffs this year. The additions that they made, most notably with Tyreek Hill, is going to open up that offense. Tua is going to take a big step this year. He's in his 3rd year. He's going to take that leap. I'm very confident in that. I don't know, I should say fair. I am very confident that Tua will take a leap. So they're my team who didn't make the playoffs last year, will make the playoffs this year. They have a really good defense as well. The only problem there is that they do have a good division with the Bills and the Patriots, and it's going to be tough to make one of those wild card spots with the AFC West being as it is.
Yeah.
But as much as I want to say all 4 teams from the AFC West could make the playoffs, I think it's going to be a dogfight, and they're going to end up knocking each other out, one of those type of things. So at least 2, probably 3 from the AFC West, and that will leave 1 or 2 wild card spots, and I could see the Miami Dolphins filling one of those.
Well, I agree. I could see those, but I agree with you on one of them for sure. Because my 2 sleeper teams are, first one's going to be Philadelphia Eagles. Fly Eagles, fly, JR. Hope you're having fun on your honeymoon. Big Eagles fan this year.
We know he's having fun.
That's awkward. That's weird. You think about that?
Oh, no, I meant because of the pictures.
Anyways.
You have to make everything weird.
Second sleeper
like you
team.
didn't get
Sorry
the
for the
picture we did.
Twitchers. I'm going to have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Of course. Big Steelers guy.
Big Steelers guy.
Yeah.
We beat them in the Super Bowl, so I felt sorry for them ever since.
Congratulations on your run in the Super Bowl.
I really wish Kenny Pickett was not a Steeler.
Yeah.
Because I really like him a
I
lot.
like Kenny Pickett too.
And so I am going to select him as my rookie sleeper, and they will win that division.
What happened to... That's not what the question was. You said that to me. Rookie sleeper?
No, he's going to make the Pittsburgh Steelers the sleeper team. Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, Kenny Pickett. It's going to be
George Pickens. I love George Pickens.
Pickens. They're going to be fun to watch.
Good pick.
TB12 FFF75 said Eagles suck.
Who
No idea who that is, but
you know what, TB12? I love the name and I love the comment.
They said love your pick, J-Rob. So they must be a Steelers fan.
How is TB12 a Steelers fan?
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm not clowning the guy. I'm just saying. How are you?
Well, I appreciate it.
How are you a Tom Brady fan?
Thank you, TB12. Appreciate
Go Tom
it.
Brady.
So we have one more. What'd you do to the TV?
I didn't do anything. Just keep going. If you don't bring attention to it, nobody will notice.
You know me. I'm the natural person. So we have one more. So thank you, Buster Cherry. Hope that helps you answer your questions. This next guy we've all heard from is Mike Hunt. He was not too nice towards me, but we're gonna play it because I'm not sensitive. So
you said that like I am.
If this voicemail was left for Cameron probably would have cried. So, Mike Hunt, here you go.
Hey, Mike Hunt here again. First off, I just want to say thank you for answering my question, Cam. Glad to know you're a fake Chargers fan.
Hey.
My question this week, though, is for J-Rob. I just wanted to know, how's it feel to have a daughter who's better at pronouncing names than you, better at doing a podcast than you, and even though you're supposedly a fantasy expert, is better at fantasy football and beats you every year?
Yep.
Cam, I also want you to feel free to weigh in on this question.
Oh, I appreciate that.
As always, thanks, guys.
Oh,
yeah, I appreciate him.
First off,
allowing me to
you
weigh
give me
in.
this. No,
I'll
shut
give
up.
you the floor.
You fix the screen.
I'm trying.
First off, Mike Hunt. Obviously, you didn't listen to the last show. I ain't gonna bash my daughter, but let's just say it was Saquon Barkley. So he obviously didn't listen to the show. Love you, Kenzie. 2, she played 1 year of fantasy and beat me because collusion.
No, we're not gonna
collusion.
You saying your daughter's a cheater?
No, her papa is.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Cameron, she would be in class at school, and I would get alert. Kenzie Cat picked up so and so.
Don't disrespect the champ. Kenzie.
No, that's Papa.
Yeah, Kenzie's the champ.
We are gonna have Eric on the show though.
Kenzie is the champ.
Because we all know Eric loved my take. I said, "When's the last time you won a championship?"
Hey,
I'm pretty sure we are still keeping stats on paper.
We had 2 last year.
I can't even tell you the last time you won a championship.
Should have won.
I'm pretty sure we were in 5th grade.
No, it's been like 5 years.
No, it's been longer than 5
And
years.
a league we've played in together, probably. But I've won in other leagues before, like 5 years ago. It's been a while. I'm in a slump. It's all right.
It's not a slump when it's every year.
All right. Well, when's the last time the Packers won the Super Bowl?
We're in a slump.
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna fix the TV?
Continue. I told you, quit drawing attention to it. I'm doing
But
it right now.
Mike Hunt. That was salty for sure. Kinsey does great, but the whole fantasy football thing—that's just awful.
You're welcome, Cameron, for fixing the
I don't know
screen.
what I ever did to Mike. To be honest with you, I show up every day and produce, and Cameron gets all the love.
Well, is it my turn? Can I talk now?
Sure.
First off, don't slander your daughter
I
in
didn't
her
slander her.
fantasy football ability. Yes, she's in class, but that doesn't mean the fantasy grind stops. She's allowed to add players in class. And then on top of that, she beat you fair and square.
No.
Twice, right? If I remember, it was twice,
no,
right?
I beat her once. She beat me.
Oh, so you're bragging about beating your
Cambria
daughter in
beat me
fantasy
twice.
football.
Cambria
Wow,
lost in the
okay.
championship, so it's her fault.
Well, all I know is your daughter, 10-year-old daughter, beat you in fantasy football all on her own, had no help. That's how it's done.
All I know is Mike Hunt. That's probably the last time he's gonna call the show.
Yeah, we're going to ban his... No, he said good things about me and my Cowboys take. Although I didn't like the Chargers slander that he gave me
It's
there.
pretty rude.
I mean, I am a fake Chargers fan because I don't live there. I don't... they're not my number
Do
one
you think
team.
Mike Hunt is a
Fake
Chiefs?
Falcons?
No. Chiefs fan because Hunt.
Well, Kareem Hunt plays for
No.
Cleveland.
Hunt brothers.
Oh, the
gosh.
owners?
Yes.
Well, why would I not immediately go to Kareem Hunt, who played on the Chiefs and now plays, and his last name's Hunt?
Because it's.
I thought that's what you were talking about. You get so easily frustrated. Everybody gang up on Justin.
If you just show up, I wouldn't get frustrated. That voicemail just got me really up.
Good. Thank you, Mike. I love to see it.
Whatever. Eric, I need a new co-host, so if you're listening, you're hired.
Yeah, and you think he's not going to frustrate you?
We have more championships together.
One?
In the past
I'm
2
not
years.
counting him. I'm
In
counting
the past 2
you.
years, we
One.
both have won one.
One.
So
Well, we're not talking about fantasy. You know, we're talking about real football,
I'm
right?
just letting
We
you
even
know.
clarified at the beginning. Everyone can
the
luck into
question
one.
was about fantasy football.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
Oh,
it
yes, it
was.
was. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right, just
I
kidding.
was just listening to the part where you're saying that Kinsey's better than you.
All right. Well, we're just gonna get into our running back scene, but first, Cameron, I have a one quick
Mm-hmm.
start bench or cut segment.
Ooh, I love it.
You know
And
I didn't go
and
without it.
I didn't cheat, and I didn't look at them beforehand.
Oh, obviously. But you know I can't go without it. It's my favorite part of the show. So, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. Start, bench, cut. Derek Carr, Lamar Jackson, or Matthew Stafford.
This is way too easy.
Is it?
Yes. Start Lamar. Bench. Do you want me to keep going fast?
Awful.
You want me to take my time? I'm
I
starting
want some
Lamar,
stats.
and I'm benching Stafford, and I'm cutting Derek Carr.
What? You're so salty towards Derek Carr.
I'm not! I'm a Derek Carr fan. I like Derek Carr. I've just had him in fantasy football like 2 or 3 years in a row, and I know what Derek Carr does. Thank you. Derek Carr sucks. Same here, Cam. Colin, thank you. I love having the chat. Having people
Well,
agree
first
with me.
off, Colin never said anything about that.
He said same here,
Well,
Cam.
Cam, whatever.
Because he
Colin.
agrees.
Colin
We're
does not
starting.
agree.
You start Lamar Jackson because of the upside that he brings. All right, he has the arm,
What upside?
and he
That
has,
he has
the
no receivers besides Bateman.
because he has the running ability.
Did you see what he did last year? His running ability cost me a
Hold
championship.
on.
That hence why Kinsey won.
Hold on.
Lamar Jackson got
Hold
hurt
on.
and had 1 point because he broke his
You're
ankle.
making me roll up my sleeves. It's getting hot in here. It's getting toasty. Lamar Jackson. We all know running stats, you get 1 point per every 10 yards. Passing stats, you get 1 point per every 25. So there's a big difference there. Lamar Jackson, running the ball, you get 6 points for a rushing touchdown.
You pissed off TB12. He's gone. He left.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
And Baby Goat.
Are
gone.
you sure? So the running ability that Lamar Jackson brings, to me, he's the only dual threat out of the three of them. That's why you start him. Even though...
Colin said sit Carr, not cut.
Okay, that's fine. No, he didn't. He said bench Stafford.
And then he says sit Carr.
He meant cut.
So it's the same thing.
Autocorrect from cut to sit.
What?
What do you mean? Tell Colin, reply again and tell him that that's what you meant. But yeah, so I'm thank you. Cut, sorry.
Just talk.
You
I'm the
chat.
host. I read the chat.
So I'll bench Matthew Stafford because he had 5,000 yards last year, and
he said I agree with J-Rob Carr, TB12.
Okay, well
I have a funny feeling on who TB12 is.
I kind of do, but I don't know. So that was my three: start Lamar, bench Stafford, and then Derek Carr. As much as I love Derek Carr, his consistent stat line is like 220 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
But can you tell us why?
Happens all the time.
Can you tell us why you don't like Carr?
I do like Carr. Why I don't like the
bias.
Raiders anymore?
Yeah.
Well, because it was either 2 or 3 years ago. The Raiders were my team.
I don't care anymore. I'm over it.
Exactly.
Let's move on.
Thank you.
So I would start Lamar, bench Carr, cut Stafford.
I know.
But why would you start Stafford over Carr? Just blows my mind. Anyways, that was my start, bench, cut segment of the day. But before we move on to running backs, we have to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Awesome. Well, we are right back. Cameron, I don't know about you, but Proper Gentleman has made my days go by easier.
Mm-hmm.
My scalp is wonderful.
I'm actually, to promote Proper Gentleman, I'm getting a haircut this Friday by the founder and CEO of Proper Gentleman.
Me too.
This Friday?
I was. Yeah. Did they send out the list?
Not yet.
Oh yeah. I was like,
I just signed up for it.
Yeah.
But just to say, that's who cuts my hair too, so we know that it's good product.
Yeah. You haven't said anything about my Regal hat or my Free Ridley shirt too.
Yeah, shout out Free Ridley.
Free
Look at this shirt.
Go
Kinda
buy a
stand
shirt
up a
today.
little bit. Let everybody see that.
Go buy a shirt today.
It's a beautiful shirt, especially after the news.
About Watson? Yeah.
Yeah.
So stupid.
We haven't talked about it on the show, but obviously Deshaun Watson got his suspension reduced. I guess upgraded to 11 games.
But it's conspiracy theory.
So rigged. NFL is so rigged.
I told you.
There's certain things. I don't think they rigged the actual games. I think they rigged the storylines. That's a storyline rig right there. Suspend him 11 games because their 12th game of the year is against Houston in Houston. I guarantee it's going to be on a primetime football game. I don't know if they've already made that schedule or not, but they're just going to hype that up.
Well, go buy your Free Ridley shirt tomorrow. Colin ordered one already. It is ready for you this Saturday, Colin. I know we're going to see you. But go to ProFootballEntertainment.com. They're at the bottom of our screen. And go buy you a shirt today. Free shipping. Take advantage of it. What's up, Cameron?
Do what he said. Sorry, I'm looking at the schedule right
You
now.
want to start off with our running backs?
Yeah, so
And just to clarify, this is non-fantasy.
correct. These are our top 10 running backs in the NFL to perform on Sundays to help their team make the actual NFL playoffs.
Not Thursdays
And
or
They
Mondays.
would've- oh, yes, obviously. You know what I meant. Every week on a week-in, week-out basis besides bye weeks. So, top 10 running backs at number 10, and these are our joint rankings. We combined on these rankings. These are what we agree on. Our number 10 running back in the NFL is Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, obviously, of the Green Bay Packers.
Go Pack.
Go, Pack, go. You're welcome. I didn't even mean to see that. Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm saving that clip
Yep,
and the
you
Eagles
can-
clip.
Yeah, dang it, that Eagles clip is going to haunt me. So, just to roll off Aaron Jones' stats last year, he played in 15 games. He obviously had that knee injury that kept him out for a couple games late in the season. 171 attempts, 799 yards. So his attempts were down. That has a lot to do with A.J. Dillon. 4.7 yards per carry. Just the 4 rushing touchdowns last year. But he did add 52 catches, 391 yards, and 6 touchdowns through the air. One little nugget on Aaron Jones is he actually...
Cave Nugget.
Yes.
Throwback.
Yeah, exactly. One little cave nugget on Aaron Jones. He actually had the 4th most yards per carry in the entire league last year with running backs who had at least 150 carries. So that's enough time to kind of separate yourself from the pack. There's a lot of guys who will have around 100 carries to 110, 120, even less, who they'll have a higher yards per carries because the volume isn't there. But as I said, for running backs with at least 150 carries, Aaron Jones had the 4th highest yards per carry. So he does still, even though his attempts were down due to A.J. Dillon, he himself still has that ability to be a top 10 NFL running back. Obviously, the yards per carry is there. He adds that element in the pass game. I think we both have agreed that the passing is really going to vault him to add a little fantasy to this, and to a top 10 fantasy running back status is his ability to catch balls in the passing game. I believe he had the 4th most receptions, or the 3rd most receptions for running backs last year as well.
He did.
So he's a dual threat running back, maybe not at the height of some of the other guys who we'll see on this list, but he definitely brings both elements to the table for the Packers.
So I mentioned on the show last night about the Packers running backs, and LaFleur said it's the dumbest take I've ever seen. Like, the guys are offensive genius.
Mhm.
Yeah, like his offense is
Yeah.
unreal. But he said that A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones are basically running back 1A, 1B. And it was just made 0 sense. To be honest with you. Like,
Well, they're obviously 2 different types of running backs.
I get that,
They
but
bring you
just
back to
pick
the
a
old
1 and 2.
Yeah,
like,
they bring you back to the old Thunder and Lightning.
Yeah.
D'Angelo
Ka-chow!
Williams from Carolina when they had the old Thunder and Lightning. Yeah, I understand what he's saying there. I mean, you've said it yourself how much you love A.J. Dillon and think A.J. Dillon can impact the Packers. And
have you seen those thighs?
almost.
I got the thighs
Yeah.
that will make you cry.
Yeah, okay. Almost every team in the NFL now deploys 2 running backs. Rarely are they on a split 50-50 percentage. I mean, most notably would be Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon in Denver.
Yeah.
They do a pretty much even split, but Green Bay...
I did. Ka-chow!
But yeah, Green Bay, I could definitely see them changing to a
1A, 1B.
a split backfield like that.
Yes, split. but
Because-
not, like,
I mean, when
It
you
just
watch
sounded-
when you watch AJ Dillon run, I mean,
he's a monster.
he is so hard to tackle, and I think that's why you see AJ Dillon close games a lot more, is because when it gets down to the 4th quarter, once the defense is already tired and he has fresh legs, he's just so punishing to the defense.
You already know I told you last year that A.J. Dillon was better than Aaron Jones. Episode 1, I told you.
Well, on our joint power rankings, we have Aaron Jones at number 10.
Well, I'm talking about as a
Fantasy.
fantasy running
Okay.
back, yes.
I mean, with all the touchdowns he's going to get, like I said, I mean, Aaron Jones only had 4 touchdowns last year. Let me double check what A.J. Dillon has, but I imagine it's because A.J. Dillon ended up taking a lot of those goal line carries, and was able to, once it get down inside the 10-yard line, A.J. Dillon kind of becomes the guy there, because why wouldn't you? So last year, A.J. Dillon had 5 rushing touchdowns. Obviously, it's not a lot, but he's not been the featured back, so you don't expect him to have a lot more than that. But that is still quite a bit for a guy who has, in the past, been the second running back, who now is probably going to see a little more action. So
everybody loves a little bit more action.
Yes. So LaFleur might be hurting Aaron Jones' fantasy stock, but I don't think in terms of on the field play, I think Aaron Jones still, we agree, top 10.
I love Aaron Jones.
I still think Aaron Jones is a pretty underrated running back.
He is. But I just like power backs. Like, give me good old Eddie Lacy before fat Eddie Lacy. He was a monster.
It just depends on what you like seeing more. Do you like seeing running backs run people over, or
let's
be
put
more
it this way: my top
quick?
5 running backs has Marion Barber on there, Marshawn Lynch. So, I
Those
think
are beasts.
Yeah,
I get it.
I'm tired of seeing the Alvin and the Chipmunks running around the field.
Alvin Kamara can run some people over every now and then. A corner. Is that not what you meant by Alvin and the Chipmunks?
People are laughing at you right now. Do you think Alvin Kamara can run over somebody?
You don't think he has any power?
Oh my God, no power.
Okay.
Cameron.
Okay.
The guy's fragile as all get out.
Who is?
Like, that's ridiculous. Josh Jacobs, one of my favorite running backs, hammers people.
Yeah, and hurts himself in the process.
I don't care.
Just spoiler alert: Josh Jacobs will not make it in our top 10 running back.
Josh Jacobs is a monster when it comes to running people over. That's why I like Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb does both.
Kareem Hunt. No, Nick Chubb does not go both. He runs through them.
He also stiff arms people. He also
That's
jukes
running
people.
through people.
A stiff arm is not a run through people.
Alvin Kamara's too busy getting freaking bull rings in his nose. I'm not going to respect any running back that has the same pushing as a girl. Sorry. Anyways, next running back on your list. On our list. Who you got?
Oh, you
Number 9. Yeah, you're going through the list.
At number 9, we have, and this is the, so number 9, we have Najee Harris, already cracking the top 10 after just 1 year in the league. He played 17 games last year. He had 307 attempts.
Yes.
Second most rushing.
He has a bull ring. He has the little septum thing. Sorry.
Say the comment so that we know what you're saying.
They said bull rings.
For the podcast people.
They said bull rings, question mark.
There you go. So Najee Harris had the second most rushing attempts last year. He had 300. He was only the second running back to have over 300 rushing attempts. 1,200 yards. Only 3.9 yards per carries, but I think we can agree that is mainly due to his offensive line and not his ability. 7 rushing touchdowns. He also led the NFL for running backs with 74 receptions last year. Just 467 yards to go with those receptions, but he also added 3 touchdowns through the air.
Well, the biggest stat is 0 fumbles and 384 touches.
So,
unreal.
Knock on wood, Najee Harris has yet to fumble in his NFL career. This is a wooden table now.
I don't think so.
There we go. Knock on wood, since Najee Harris is my workhorse in our Dynasty League. But yeah, so like you said, definitely the most impressive thing to me, or to both of us, is that no fumbles on his 384 touches last year. That's on the ground and through the air.
That's insane.
It really is. Because, I mean, what do you want out of you? That's one of the main things you want out of your running back is to do not turn the football
do your job.
over. Get yards, but also don't turn the football over.
This guy said Cameron is so predictable.
Is that JR?
I don't know.
It's got to be somebody who's in our league, right? Because how else would they know I like Najee Harris?
Or they're a fan of the show.
Yeah.
We've done 43 episodes. They probably understand who you like.
Also, he says Cameron is predictable, but these are both of our power rankings here.
Are
so
they?
We both agree.
We agree, but not really. You're a dictator when it comes to power rankings.
I'll give you that. That's true. Yeah.
Pick-fil-A.
I am quite a dick.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Alex.
I can't read what that says.
Alex is our betting guru.
Oh, of course.
So shout out to Go follow Pick-fil-A on Twitter. You will not be disappointed. He will win you lots of money. Anyways, Najee Harris.
Najee Harris at number 9. I would definitely and he is one of only 2, I'd say, running backs in the entire league who, and maybe not even one of 2, one of 1 who are like he never comes off the field. He is out there almost every snap of the game.
That might change this year, though.
It might. It might. And to kind of prolong his career, year 1, you don't worry about those kinds of things with your running backs. But, getting into year 2 and then year 3, as you develop him and as you work him, you definitely want to limit the amount of touches that you give and the snaps you give because, like I said, you want to prolong his career. So,
Pick-fil-A said, I don't handicap no more, but I'll slide some picks your way this year.
Oh, appreciate it. Maybe we'll have him do
He's a Jaguars fan, too, so.
Oh, well, we need to connect him with Aaron. Aaron said the Jags are the sleeper team of the year.
You can't throw Aaron under the bus. He's baby goat.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, so Najee Harris comes in at number 9 for us. At number 8, we have, and I can't believe Justin agreed with me that he falls in the
Cameron,
top 10.
like I said earlier,
Because 1 year ago...
You dictated me. I mentioned 1 wide receiver, and he went on a 20-page thesis on why he shouldn't be a top 10 wide receiver.
Exactly, because there's a fringe top 10 wide receiver.
But
Those are where you have
point.
Those are where you have your
If
arguments
I
on
bring
if they're
up
fringe
somebody,
top 10 receivers.
you automatically just
If
know.
it's a fringe top 10 running back, we can argue about those. If they're
Hey,
locked into the
Alex,
top 10, that's not something to argue about.
Alex, you missed it. We already talked about you not having a kicker.
See,
the show.
Exactly. Only
We said y'all could
touchdowns-
bring back Urban Meyer for y'all's kicker.
Only touchdowns and 2-point conversions. Yeah. All right. So at number 8, we actually have Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon cracks his way into it. I can confidently say 1 year ago he would not.
Who is TB12? He is trolling everybody. He's a trash.
He might be a bot. He might be a.
He's not a bot. It's probably Tom Brady. He is away right now.
I don't think Tom Brady himself would be in here. But you never know.
Make sure you go follow us.
Tom Brady,
I know there's
share us on your Twitter, please.
Follow us. We only got 12 followers. I know some of y'all in here don't follow. Anyways.
Yeah, so Joe Mixon comes in at number 8 for us. He played in 16 games last year.
Mixon does not need a fix.
He no longer. There you go.
I changed my
You're
ways.
gonna have to retire that phrase.
I know.
He no longer needs a fixin'. So 292 attempts last year, over 1,200 yards. He had just a little over 1,200, 1,205. 4.1 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns, second most touchdowns in the league rushing, 42 catches, 314 yards through the air, and 3 touchdowns. Most notably, Joe Mixon had career highs last year in attempts, yards, and touchdowns. The Triple Crown. He has had his injury issues in the past, but last year he finally was able to put it all together, finally was able to be the true number 1 running back on Cincinnati. And so we were finally able to see what he can actually do when he gets that full production. No doubt it helped that Joe Burrow came in and made that passing game explosive, right? To help out the running game a bunch and to, pass him the ball through the air.
Colin said you really think he can repeat?
That's a really good question, Colin, because
I don't think
and I'm going to 2-part your question. In terms of
Mixon needs a fix.
In terms of on the field play, it all depends on if he stays healthy or not. If he stays healthy, I think no doubt, I think he will repeat his performance from last year. In a fantasy perspective, he had a top 10 fantasy season last year. I also think he can repeat that as long as with the caveat that he does stay healthy. Last year was his first, pretty fully healthy season. Was able to play in 16 of the 17 games, and you saw that he was able to.
He'll need a fixing by week 4. I agree, Colin.
But I mean, hey, you never know. It's possible. The running back position is a violent position. That's where a lot of guys fall to injury. But if he stays healthy, and I hope he does, because I always want to see the best players out on the field. He falls into a top 10 NFL running back now after his strong performance last year, and we have him at number 8.
All right.
Anything to add? No.
Okay. This is your day. I'm just hosting it.
Okay. Well,
number 7. Who we got?
At number 7, we have the best dual threat running back in the league.
A.J. Dillon's not our number 7.
And no, Colin, it's not Christian McCaffrey. We have Austin Eckler at number 7 in our rankings. He had 206 carries, 911 yards, 4.4 yards per carry.
I want the people to know.
Mhm.
This is the one we did not agree on. I wanted Najee Harris ranked over.
Then
Austin Eckler.
can I clarify for the people that I gave you the option to move him and you said no, it's fine.
Because I didn't want to.
If you're gonna throw me out there, I'm gonna throw you out there. Okay? you thought you could.
I
just,
agreed on the
You
rest.
thought you could just throw me under the bus, and I dragged you down with me.
Even
I'm not gonna let you.
Colin said, "Wow, disrespect."
For
Najee.
he's probably talking about. I don't think he's talking about Najee. But anyway, so Eckler had 12 rushing touchdowns. He also added 70 catches. Most receiving yards by a running back last year was 647, and added 8 touchdowns through the air. He was actually tied with Jonathan Taylor for the most total touchdowns rushing and receiving with 20. So Austin Eckler, obviously fantasy running back wise, he'd be much higher on this list.
Mm-hmm.
But just in terms of true NFL running backs, number 7 to me feels like a good spot to put him. He has shown once Melvin Gordon left, San Diego at the time, and then now that Eckler is the number 1 in LA, he has shown that production week in and week out, not only on the running game but through the air as well. He is a true dual threat running back. I was making a little bit of a joke saying he's the number 1 dual threat running back in the league. We do have one ahead of him, but
CMC.
all right, spoiler alert. But
Well, everybody
obviously-
knows it's not a
yes,
spoiler.
obviously. So yeah, Austin Eckler, I think, well deserving to be this high on the list. He has worked. I think because he was on, there was a Hard Knocks that the Chargers were on. He is one of the hardest working running backs in the league. Chargers fan over here. He deserves this spot. He's only.
I
Getting
agree
better.
with the fans. You're so predictable.
He's only getting better. So he falls in at number 7 for us.
All right. Number 6.
At number 6, Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey falls in.
I obviously did not read this well enough. What? You have Christian McCaffrey at number 6? I definitely looked over that. I guess I just assumed.
You just admitting to the people that you weren't doing your prep?
No, I was prepping our show. See this amazing template?
Exactly. So Christian McCaffrey falls in at
keep
number
going.
6.
I agree with you. You're my co-host.
Because he only played in 7 games last year. You good? He missed 10 games last year. He missed 13 games the year before. So in the last 2 years, Christian McCaffrey has missed 23 total games. If injuries were not a factor, he would be top 3 on this list. Okay? Don't freak out. Don't freak out. I see that on there. I'm not going to put Christian McCaffrey.
Everybody is hating. I'm so glad I
There's
did not
one-
agree with that take.
There's one comment that says Cameron.
Cameron, no, they're Cameron.
Read them.
It's from Packers fan 12,000.
Oh, okay.
Never heard of
Kinsey.
him. I love Packers fan 12,000. It's definitely not Kinsey. Kinsey's asleep.
That's what you think.
No, she is. But your take on CMC, literally 9 people just left the show.
Good. Bye. Don't need you. If you just want us to come up here and say what you want to hear, this ain't the place for you. All right?
Even
Justin, I promise you, is going to give you some controversial opinions.
dude,
I promise
they
you.
are hating right now.
Good.
You just put CMC at 6.
Good. CMC is my
Call
6th
Daddy
best
missed it.
running back
Colin,
in the NFL.
he put CMC at 6.
Stay healthy. I put an injured guy at number 6. He should be thankful that he's in the top 10 at all.
Colin said, "What?"
Yeah, exactly. Tell me how he does on your fantasy
Oh
team this
my
year, Colin, when he
gosh.
plays in 5 games. Now, because see, now you're going to make me root for. I'm not going to root for him to get hurt. I do love CMC, the player.
Packers fan 12,000 said, "Freaking idiot." That's definitely not
Kinsey. So only 99 attempts for McCaffrey last year, 442 yards, just 1 rushing touchdown. 37 catches.
You're the most hated man. I think you might be more hated than Steven Smith right now.
Who?
Steven Smith,
Who the hell is Steven Smith?
the guy from ESPN that yells at everybody.
Stephen A. Smith.
I'm sorry, I forgot the A.
No, I didn't know. Everyone knows it's Stephen A. Smith. He had 37 catches, 343 yards, and a touchdown. So 2 total touchdowns last year. Like I said, I stand true to my ranking. All right, I'm not going to fall just because people think that he should be higher. The guy's missed 23 games over the last 2 seasons. I cannot put him top 5 running back in the NFL when he doesn't play. Justin,
That's such a bad take.
what's your argument? He doesn't play. He gets hurt.
You're gonna wake up my son. 'Cause you're
Good.
So mad.
I'm not mad. I'm just proving my point.
Drew said, "I'm glad he finally showed up to work."
People are keyboard warriors over there. Now I understand. Now I get it. You should have done this a long time ago. This is how you get me fired up. We'll move on. At number 5, we have Alvin Kamara. Played in 13 games last year, 240 attempts, 898 yards. Good for 3.7 yards per carry. 4 rushing touchdowns, added 47 catches, 439 yards through the air, and 5 touchdowns. In just 13 games last year, just to show how vital Alvin Kamara is to New Orleans offense. He only played in 13 games out of the possible 17, and still over a season's total, he accounted for nearly 25% of New Orleans' total offense.
Can you hear that?
No.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, what the heck?
Can you hear him?
I think so.
This is Eric. He wants
Hello?
to talk to you about Austin Eckler.
Oh, okay.
Austin Eckler.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, he can't stay healthy either.
Austin Eckler? The guy who played in 16 out of
No,
17
dude.
games last year?
I don't know about that.
I got the stats pulled up. Hey, don't doubt my stats, Eric. I'm prepped.
I really just wanted to call Eric. Eric, did you beat Cameron in the championship last year?
No.
Or you knocked him out of playoffs, right?
It was the guy
No, I
who
played-
won it. Who won?
I played Tommy in the championship last year. Tommy won.
Yeah, Tommy beat me in the semifinals last year.
But Eric has a lot of good takes about Austin Eckler.
What are they?
I'm not a big fan of Austin Eckler.
That's fine. You don't have to be. I appreciate that, Eric. You don't have to be. I don't want people in here to just stroke my ego. I need a little bit.
Hey, I will agree with you. CMC sucks.
Thank you. Good call, Justin. Thank you for bringing Eric on here. I'm getting lit up in the comments over here. People freaking keyboard warriors over there.
But
That guy's horrible.
He can't stay healthy. If he didn't get hurt the last 2 years, he would 100% be in my top 3.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Thank you, Eric. This has been a fantastic. What were you trying to do here? I think Justin was bringing you on to try to make me feel.
Well,
worse,
I want him to hate on Austin Eckler because Cameron thinks he's the best running
He
back.
wanted to bring another champion on the line.
Yeah, we have 2 championships in our family. Where's
Eric,
your championship?
don't say Justin's good at fantasy. Don't. Say
I
that.
won his league. His league's
Eric's
intense.
good. Why?
You were so scared to play in Joe's league.
I'm not scared. I
Oh.
didn't want to play in
You're
it.
too scared.
I just don't
That's
have
what
the.
you told me.
I don't have the commitment. That's not what I said, and you know it. I told Eric. Eric knows. I told him. I was like, I don't have. That's too much commitment. Like I know y'all. Y'all are on it 24/7.
Because we're dedicated.
I've got too many other leagues to be able to do that.
Well, thank you, Eric. You have anything you want to share at the show? I think he's gone. I think he left us.
Well, look at your phone.
Yeah, he left us.
Oh.
Call him back.
You don't have to. Don't call him back. We're good now.
Call Phil.
He went through a tunnel. Or
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was Eric.
All right, so we're in our top
No,
5.
it says he's still on. Can you hear us? I don't know. He said, "Oh," and then left. So, number 5.
Okay.
Whoever's Packers fan 12,000 is literally ripping you up.
Number 5 is Kamara.
Wow,
we just went
Pansy
through Kamara.
Cam.
Cam spitting knowledge. I love it. Thank you, sir. At
The
number
only reason he's backing you up is because he says I bashed him yesterday on the show.
Good. Thank you, Eric. He should be on my side, not yours. At number 4, we have Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, 249 carries last year, 1,159 yards. That was good for 4.7 yards per carry. 6 touchdowns on the ground, 34 catches, 224 yards, and no touchdowns through the year, which is a little bit surprising.
Drew, we know Eckler took you to a championship, but did you win?
Thank you, Drew. No. And I'll say this. Fantasy-wise, and he probably has the biggest disparity between his fantasy ranking.
And PPR.
His fantasy ranking. No. Let me finish. Between his fantasy ranking, running back ranking, and his actual NFL ranking. Because fantasy football-wise, he could be a 2 or 3 running back.
TB12 said, "Bring Eric back." Who is this guy?
I don't know. Maybe it's one of Eric. Maybe it's somebody from the league, from Joe's
Maybe.
league. Is one of them a big Tom Brady fan?
I'm just confused on why it says we have 2 listeners when there are way more than 2. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah. So I said Dalvin Cook comes in at number 4 for us. Big thing to note for Dalvin Cook is since 2019, so the last 3 or 4 NFL seasons, he has the second most total scrimmage yards per game. So that's rushing and receiving total yards. In the past 4 seasons, Dalvin Cook has the second most yards per game in that area. So he is...
As much as I hate the Vikings, Dalvin Cook is the ultimate running back.
He really is. Because he now, going back to your argument, I guess, on if you truck people or juke people, Dalvin Cook really can run somebody over and juke somebody out.
Unlike
spin
Kamara.
move. Okay, I'm not going to die on
When's
that
the last
hill.
time you seen Kamara run over somebody, Cameron?
I don't know. I don't watch Alvin Kamara highlights.
Oh, but you selected him as your top 5 running back?
I don't need to watch highlights to know who's the best running back in the NFL. I just watch the games. I watch all the games. Number 4.
Because of who?
Well, I could watch all the games at home.
You have Sunday ticket?
I could.
Alright, I'll remember that. This year's door's locked on Sundays.
At number 3, we have my favorite running back in the NFL. Our favorite.
Nick Chubby Chubb!
Yes, sir!
I don't have a Nick Chubb shirt made, and it says I have a Chubb for Chubb.
Okay. And you say I make everything weird. Nick Chubb, he played in 14 games last year, had 288 attempts.
Probably the show's favorite player in the NFL.
Yeah, that's the only player that we agree on that we
Nick
both
Chubb.
love. 288 carries for 1,259 yards.
We agree on a lot.
Which was good for 5.5, on players?
Yeah.
Well, this is the guy we most agree on.
But we most agree. We love Nick Chubb.
We most agree on him. 5.5 yards per carry, 8 touchdowns on the ground. Not much of a receiving threat. 20 catches, 174 yards, and 1 touchdown. Nick Chubb had the second most, has the second most yards per carry in his 4 years in the NFL.
TB12 agrees. Chubb.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for finally agreeing with something I say. In Nick Chubb's 4 NFL seasons, he has the second most yards per carry. That's with a minimum of 400 attempts over that 4 seasons frame.
Monster.
Nick Chubb is everything you want in a running back.
But more.
He breaks tackles. He has those yards per carry. And then as far as last season goes, he was actually tied for the most yards per carry in the entire league last year, tied with Jonathan Taylor.
And he missed a couple games.
Yes, he did miss a couple games with that
hamstring.
He broke his ankle or something. He was in the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So
I do think even with this year, he's gonna have a bigger year because of Brissett too.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to run the ball a lot more this year.
They have no receivers either besides Amari Cooper.
I mean, that's still an upgrade from what they had last year.
I think I'd rather have Odell and Landry as at least duo, like
2 for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If they still had Landry and Cooper.
Yeah, and now they have.
Ooh,
they
that'd
don't
be nice.
have OBJ, obviously.
Like, unless Njoku?
David Njoku.
Unless he steps up, I think they're gonna be struggling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jacoby Brissett.
Who is this guy? Is ripping you apart. Keep going.
The Grinder episode?
He said, I heard the Grinder episode.
Why would that be ripping me up?
Well, I'm married, so it's definitely not me.
How do you know that he's talking about the app? When have we ever talked about Grindr?
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Oh, I think that was like one of our original shows. This might be an OG fan here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Packers
Appreciate
fan.
that. Appreciate that, my guy. So, yeah, Nick
Bobby
Chubb.
Brooks.
No, because why would he say hurt? Anyway, Nick Chubb falls in at number 3, so we'll get to our top 2 running backs in the NFL.
Oh,
At
don't
number
spoil
2
it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Make them guess. Don't say their name. Just name their stats.
The stats are going to give it away.
Just say the stats.
Okay. At number 2, this guy played in only 8 games last year, had 219 carries for 937 yards,
1,000 yards almost in 8 games.
and only 4.3 yards per carry. Not bad. 10 touchdowns on the ground. That's great in 8 games. Not really a threat out of the back.
That doesn't
receiving 18 catches, 154
Won me a
yards,
fantasy
touchdowns.
football championship.
Well, this guy broke his foot in week 8 of last year and missed the rest of the season.
Cost me my whole season last year.
If you haven't, in how many seasons?
The king, Colin. The king.
Everyone knew.
knows?
So Derrick Henry we have at number 2.
My favorite fantasy football player of all time.
Yeah, so very, once you get into splitting like number 1 and number 2, I'm confident in saying it's very possible.
1A and 1B.
If he didn't get hurt last year, he might still be at number 1 in our ranking. Yeah.
That's not...
So that obviously leads at number 1 in our rankings. Jonathan Taylor, the Mr. Do-It-All, 332 carries last year, 1,811 yards,
Ka-chow.
5.5 yards per
That's
carry,
my new saying.
18 touchdowns, 40 receptions, 360 yards, 2 touchdowns. He led the NFL in attempts, yards, and touchdowns. He also tied for the most yards per carry in the NFL last
Oh
year.
my gosh. TV12. How'd Cameron ever won? That might be Percy.
Oh.
He's
Is he a Brady
He's a
fan?
Brady fan.
And a Steelers fan?
And then, how many times has J-Rob really won? I actually won 5 fantasy football championships last year.
Okay, clarify for the people that 4 of them, out of 5 of them were public
No,
leagues.
4.
Which one was the real one that you
The
won?
Milestone League.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Uh,
I had Jonathan.
Colin asked a good question.
Well, ask it.
He said, what about the article saying he's going to have less work?
That's fine. We're not saying who's going to have the best production. We're
He
saying.
asked a question.
I know. I'm answering it, Justin.
Don't get offended.
I'm not.
You
I'm
said,
saying-
we're not saying.
I'm saying we're not saying that he's going to have the most yards in the league this year. Although even with less production, he still could. He had the most yards in the league by over
I have
5.
to say something before you get into this.
Okay.
Our plan was for this episode to be 20 minutes,
30.
30. It's already an hour.
That's
Just
all right.
Just keep rolling.
We're
That's
gonna
how much
roll
we
into
love
it.
football.
Yeah, so, I mean, Jonathan Taylor led the league by over 500 rushing yards last year. Even with a reduced workload, he could still very well lead the league in rushing next year. But, like I said, this doesn't necessarily mean that we think Jonathan Taylor's going to have the most yards, the most touchdowns, the most everything. It's just at this time, he comes in at the number 1 running back in the league. It could be someone else next. Somebody else could very well. And who is that? He says won't do it again. Are you saying that just based off of carry or workload? Like Colin seems to think that he won't have the workload next year. I think again, even with a reduced workload, you saw how much he's done. He led the league with most yards per carry last year. So even with less carries, he's still going to have the yards. He's still going to have his 100-yard games. He's still had more than a touchdown a game
What,
last
Jonathan
year
Taylor?
rushing. Jonathan Taylor, yeah, we're still talking about Jonathan Taylor. Naheem Hines. Stop it with Naheem Hines.
Carson Wentz likes throwing the running backs. Or not. Matt Ryan likes throwing the running backs.
All right,
Look at Cordero Patterson.
Yeah,
That's a perfect lock down for Naheem Hines. Nakeem Hines.
well, I mean, it's not like Jonathan Taylor, makes a living catching passes out of the backfield.
I agree that he is the best running back in the NFL right now because of stats. But I can agree with Papa about a lot of people don't
Sounds
repeat
weird when
what
you
they're
call
doing. That's his name on here, number 1 Papa.
Your boy did. Didn't Derrick Henry repeat?
No, he got hurt.
No, I'm saying, but
Not really.
2 of the last 3 years he's
not
been
the
the rushing
same,
champ.
yeah,
right?
but not the same stats.
Zeke. Where'd I go?
You're still on. I hear you.
Oh, my headphones went out. Sorry. Zeke won the rushing title 2 years
Can
in
you
a
hear
row.
me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good.
Zeke won the rushing title 2 years in a row, and I'm down on
Zeke
Zeke now.
blows.
I'm just saying, guys repeat. It happens.
Henry's the best. I agree, Eric.
All right, well, that'll do it for our running back rankings. Do you have anything else?
I
To
do
add?
not. Oh, Crawdaddy, he has all the questions.
Oh, what's the question?
How do you think a team would do if they had Derrick Henry and CMC? He's talking about his fantasy team. You're welcome. That's all I have to say about that.
If we're talking about last year, I don't think they would have done very good.
But you're welcome. I panicked, and traded my whole team.
Yeah, I don't think that team would have done very good, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you'll probably still lose because everyone on your team gets hurt. Sorry, Colin. Love you.
Sorry, Colin. Love you.
Eric said last season they lost.
Yes, he came
Well,
in last place in our league, Eric.
Yeah, so if you're listening, thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in on Twitch. I actually like this dynamic way better.
I do too,
having
because it's
Twitch.
more interactive.
So we will definitely
Although-
keep doing Twitch.
I need to have a message to the people that I don't know why they're only flaming me.
They
because
flame me
These
too.
are mine and Justin's running back rank.
But they flame me too. But like I said, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Point at the camera. You pointed at the wrong camera. You pointed at my camera.
Well, you pointed at your
Tomorrow
camera.
you will hopefully be able to see a facial of Cameron.
Come on.
Yes, but yes, thank you for tuning in. We love y'all. Thank you. I'm Justin.
And I'm Cameron.
Later.
Peace.